So I just wanted to speak briefly about my thoughts on Summer Game Fest. I've seen a lot of people being pretty negative on it, and that's fine. I mean, who am I to tell you what to think? But I did want to at least give my thoughts, not on the specific games. I'm sure I'll do that later. Although there were some cool looking games. I thought Slitherhead looks like a lot of fun, and I thought that Shadow, whatever the fuck it is, the Inn thing, the Samurai Zero, whatever, looks pretty great. There was some good stuff, but hell, I want to play Killer Bean, truth be told. But here's the deal, though. I think the real thing people are responding to is not the show itself. I could be wrong. I thought Jeff, honestly, truth be told, I thought Jeff had the most energy he's had in any of these kind of shows. He's usually very just stoic almost, and he seemed like he was having a good time, which was nice to see. But no, I think people keep expecting E3, and not only is E3 gone, we know that, no shit, Jaffe, but I think what E3 brought with that level of hype and just a deluge of massive games one after another at AAA games, that's gone, right? Regardless of if there's a show floor or not, that is over. But it's not over because the industry's crashing or collapsing. It's over because when you are making games at any level, it's less and less logical to spend the money to promote it in a big glommed up show. It used to make sense at E3 for a variety of reasons, I'm sure you know, which, reflected the business at the time. People at retail having to order copies before the Christmas season, blah, blah, blah. Getting it in the press with the lead time for the print press, which was the majority, blah, blah, blah. But now, if you've got a big AAA game, why would you include it in a big cavalcade of other people's games? It just doesn't make any sense. And so what I think is great is what you are seeing at shows like this now. And we watched the Guerrilla one last night and then this one today. I haven't seen Day of the Devs yet. And I think the Xbox one's going to be different because they have to be delivering some AAA or at least close to AAA first-party exclusive titles or semi-exclusive titles because that is their specific business model, regardless of when they share the announcements. But short of that, I think what you're seeing is the games that need more than they can generate on their own. Like if I don't know who's publishing Slitherhead, whatever. They're probably going to get more buzz from being thrown into a show like this or the Bean game. What is that fucking thing called? What is that fucking thing called? There's a Bean game he's got a gun. That thing. Wrote it down, but Killer Bean. That's going to get more people paying attention. But that's why you're seeing the games that don't rate at a marketing level at the moment. They might when they come out and become sensations, being all, jockeying to get onto these kinds of shows. And so I would just hate to be one of these developers or even Keeley, not that, I'm sure he's got very thick skin because I've seen a lot of negative stuff about the show today. I would hate for them to think that what they put out was not pretty cool. I think not every one of them, but there were a lot of games that even looked maybe, people are saying Slitherhead looked janky, and it did. The graphics weren't great, but you know what? Who cares, right? And that kind of game is going to sink or swim regarding mechanics. And that's, you got to give them props that they showed a lot of interesting game mechanics, certainly as it relates to horror. That was really cool. I thought the Jason Blum horror stuff was really cool. I thought Killer Bean was really cool. I thought, there were a number of things. I wrote them down. I don't know where it went, but the point is that I think when the games come out, I think there will definitely be, because think about this for a minute. Imagine looking at a game like Vampire Survivors before you had a chance to play it, or imagine looking at a game, I'm trying to think what Among Us, or even a AA game or whatever that you may love now, but if you would have seen it at a show like this, you would have been like, oh, that was a shitty show. Where's the AAA shit? So I'm just saying, I thought it was a great show as it relates to here's some really cool stuff coming down the line. A lot of it really soon, like this year, this summer. And I think a lot of people are going to be real happy with the games themselves. I think the real issue is at this point, does a show like this even make sense? And I hate to say that because I know the ratings are up. Keeley was saying they had like 40% more people watching this year than last year. So maybe it does make sense from just a business standpoint. I hope it does for his sake because I like watching the show too. But fundamentally, though, I think the people who are tuning in going, my guess would be, there are people who came of age in the E3 era, a little bit before, a little bit after, and that's what they're chasing. They're chasing the nostalgia, and the game hasn't been able to deliver, or not the game, but the show hasn't been able to deliver on that nostalgia. But that's not the show's fault, that it's never going to be that again, because it only was that because that was the best way to do business. Now it's not the best way to do business, so there's no reason. It's just like PSX, the fan show. There's no financial reason for Sony to do that. Is it cool? Sure. Is it fun? Yes. But, why would they spend the probably millions, not, probably $1 million, $2, $3 million to put that fucking circus on when they could probably just, spend that money giving a developer an extra month and a half or whatever. It just doesn't make sense. So, it doesn't work exactly that way. There's different funds, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm looking forward to the Xbox show. I'm going to watch the other shows tomorrow. I want to see the Wholesome Game, or I think this was called that show, the Day of the Dev show. But yeah, no, I think people have a point if they're saying this isn't like the E3s I wanted it to be that I remember. Correct. But I don't think that's a knock against the show. That might just be more, or at least the show that was presented. I think that's more of a knock against the fact that a show like that doesn't really have a place in 2024. And that is a fair criticism. And maybe it's a fair criticism that Jeff should rethink if the goal is to please the fans. I don't think he's going to see a drop in, maybe he will. I don't know. I don't remember the take on last year's Summer Game Fest. Like, did people love it so they came back this year? Maybe next year, because of this response, it'll be lower. But short of that, it seems to be growing. But, maybe there's a way. I don't think that itch is ever going to get scratched for you anymore. So I don't think Jeff can fix that. But maybe what he can do is not so much temper expectations, but figure out another format to allow people to walk away from his brand and go, hey, that was good stuff. But we'll see. Them's my takes. I'll be back later in the weekend and beginning of next week with actual deeper dives into some of the games I thought were pretty special. But for now, be well. You know what? I just watched that movie, Civil War. Oh, my God, that's depressing. So depressing. Can we stop fighting? I'm not saying we're going there, but we might be. Anyway, whatever. Be well. Have a good weekend. It's good to see you. Take it easy. Goodbye.